Unit 2. Prose. The Night the Ghost Garden. Summary. The Night the Ghost Garden is a short story written by James Grover Thurber. It is written as a fictionalized account of a night he remembers as a child. A misunderstanding about footsteps in the kitchen turned into a fiasco involving a wounded police officer and a broken window. The story takes place on November 7, 1915. The story was published in The New Yorker, where he worked from 1927 to 1933. The story begins with the young James Thurber, who is the narrator, hearing footsteps as he takes a bath. It is around 1 o'clock in the morning and everyone is fast asleep, his brother in the bedroom, down the hall, mother upstairs, grandfather in the attic. At first, James thinks the footsteps might belong to his father and brother who had been traveling Indianapolis and were supposed to be back late in the evening. The footsteps go around and around the dining table, and James quickly realizes that it isn't his father and brother. He assumes then that there is a burglar downstairs. He wrapped a towel around his waist and immediately gets out of the bath to investigate. But later he believes the intruder to be a ghost. James wakes up his brother Herman and tells that there are footsteps downstairs that might belong to a robber. The boys waited for the sound of the steps. After a few minutes, the footsteps headed straight for them. The terrified boys slammed the door behind them. The slammed doors wakes their mother. They told about the happenings over there. She assumed it to be burglars in the house and grabbed a shoe and tossed it out the closest window. It broke the window of the neighbor next door. A man named Bodwell came to the window furiously. After some initial confusion, he understood that there was burglars in the house and called police for the Thurbers. The police arrived promptly and swarmed the house. The policemen came to the attic and saw James' grandfather there. His grandfather is convinced that the police are deserters and after some yelling shoots one of the officers with his gun. Ultimately, the police find no burglars in the house and confused how one of their men is wounded. The next morning, the grandfather comes down to breakfast looking fresh and well rested. The family thought that their grandfather had forgotten the whole scene. But the grandfather asked with a smirk on his face what on earth the police had been doing raiding the house the night before. The story ended with the grandfather telling that none of them was bothered to leave a bottle of water beside his bed, and the family understood that the reason for the sound from the dining room was their grandpa and not a ghost.